What is up guys, Simba here, and welcome to my first ever F1 22 video. And this is a SLR Invitational event around the new Miami circuit. And I'm going to show you guys who else is racing with me today. As you can see, there are a lot of McKeon drivers. So guys like Ogwin, Turner, Sem, Race Roller, even the new Division 1 champion Elite Risks. It is a stacked grid. And it's going to be a challenge to see where we stand compared to those guys who are really quick. So, if you go on to enjoy this video, go smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're so close to 100 subscribers, and I would really love to get there to give you guys more F1 22 content. As here we are in Miami for the first time on the game in short qualifying. It's not Q1, Q2, and Q3, it's just the one qualifying session. Now, a couple of things. First of all, there's no racing line, so don't judge me too much. It's my first day on the game, and I've actually decided to turn off assists completely. And second of all, this was not streamed, because this game doesn't allow you to stream on Twitch, on the Xbox, as, yeah, in the background you see there, we get absolutely bullied off the circuit. I think that was by Elite Risks, funny enough. So, great start to the session. Traffic is pretty bad, and our confidence was quite low, but we've got 54% ERS, but we're going to try our best. And this is our first lap in Miami.
Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining.
So there was the lap as we come around the final corner to end the lap here around the Miami circuit. Where are we going to put our McLaren here? Let's see what happens. Up the gears towards 7th. We've got no ERS across the line. It's a 29.4 and we are still P11. We get quickly moved down to P12 and then P13. And I tried to go out again to improve because our PB was a 28.4. I think it was, yeah, but we did improve, and as you can see at the end of the session, we are nowhere near. We're not even in the top 15. I'm going to tell you where we're starting right now. We are starting P19 in our first social race on F1 22. We have been knocked back down to reality after our McKeon win, and this is the wake-up call. And this was probably the most depressing qualifying session I've ever done. I'm not even going to lie to you. But we have to press on. We are going to start on the hard tyre. And as you can see, we're doing the formation lap by ourselves. Let's see if we can get it right. So there you go. We managed to get it right. But we're going to be on the hard tyre. We're 19th. And we're not that confident. So let's just see what happens in our first race on F1 22. And we are underway for the first time in Miami, and it's a really good start from us. We've jumped 2 places already. We're going to try to go round the outside of Shut Metal as well. Going into turn 1, we're just trying to be pretty cautious as these first 3 corners are pretty hard to get through. A few cars through us, there's a car off there. I think there was a Red Bull, and there's another few cars off, and we slip through the chaos, and we are up into P12 on the opening lap. We've gained 7 places. In a race where I thought that it was going to be a miracle to get points, we have gained 7 places on the opening lap. Just unbelievable. So that's a great start from us as we're moving down the straight towards the hairpin And as I got another car, that was my teammate, Dream Team. And now we're in P11, so we've gained 8 places on the opening lap. So a brilliant start from us. As you can see, we completely missed the braking point. You can tell I'm still trying to get used to this damn track. As, yeah, what a start that was to the race. As you can see here, this is where we lose all the time, and it's going to become a recurring theme. We just missed the braking point completely. And speaking of missing the braking point, Southerner has gone wide, but we don't really capitalise on it, as Elite Risks, surprise, surprise, is leading this race after getting pole position, I think. So he's looking really good. But we're up to P11, which is a very good start for us, as we're looking to just keep a cool head, try and build some confidence as the race goes on, and see how far we can go on the hard tyre. As FRT Blackie has absolutely binned it again, and now we are P10. So we're really turning it around, as now Southerner makes a hash of the first sector. We're going to try and absolutely send it on the inside, going through this left-hander, and now we've gained 10 places at the start, and we are now P9 in this race, and we're going to drain the battery just to stay ahead of him as well. What a start this has been to the Miami Grand Prix on our first race on F1 22. What a start. We've gained 10 places, and now we're looking to catch up to Paraquix as well in the Williams. I think he's in a Williams. Yeah, I think he is. He's in a Williams. So we're going to catch up to the Williams, and as you can see, once again, we're not really taking that curve very well, and it's costing us time, and we're just outside of his DRS range. So still got quite a lot to learn about this track and this game in general. The handling is very different, and yeah, it's just a lot. There's about 100 options with the blooming front wing and the rear wing as well. So we're all trying to learn the game, as Jonan proves that as he spins off at turn 3, and we're up into 8th place now, as we're looking to catch up to Paraquix in the Williams, who's just in front of us, as we're nearly dropping Southerner out of our DRS as well, as Division, I think, has just retired from the race. And as you can see, we seem quite strong in Sector 1, as we're looking to get into the DRS of the car in front, and it looks like we have just missed out on this occasion. But crucially, Southerner is not in our DRS range, which is quite important, as we're now currently 8th. F-Ray Ads is in P6, and he's on the hard tyre as well, so we're definitely not going to be the lead hard runner, but we're still in a good position to make this alternate strategy work. I mean, I originally planned this for lap 17, but I think I can go on to the soft tyre, pit later, and go to the soft to the end of the race for a sprint and a dash to the end of the Grand Prix as we cut to lap 4. We're going to see if we can get into his DRS this time, as yeah, let's see what happens. So I think, yes, we have managed to. We've managed to get into his DRS, and now we're chilling because we have DRS. Southerner doesn't. So if we could just sit behind the Williams driver, we should be okay and try and size up a move later on in the race when his tyres go off, or if our confidence actually picks up as we come through this section again, this really tight section. Again, look how much time we're losing. We're not even taking that much curb, and this is something I'm literally learning while driving. So definitely something I'm going to have to learn in the next few months as we try and use DRS to compensate for the fact that we've just been kicked out of DRS. So great, absolutely brilliant. This is absolutely fantastic. Southerner is in our DRS again, and Paraquix gets away with it as we come through the end of the lap here, as Haydo has actually gone off and we pass him, and now we're into P7. So it seems like people around us are involved in collisions or making mistakes, and we're just picking up the pieces, and now we're P7 ahead of the Haas, who's on medium tyres, so he's going to pit a lot earlier than we are, as yeah, unfortunately we've fallen out of Paraquix's DRS. I'm going to try and get back in. And as we cut on to the end of lap 5, well, we are not in his DRS anymore. I mean, we're just not really on the pace, as we've got yellow flags in front of us, and it's for Elite Risks, the pole sitter, who has spun in the 3rd sector. So as you can see here, well, this was a bit reassuring at the time, because if I could keep up with Risks, who was looking really quick, and oh, Paraquix has spun as well, and we are up into 6th place, so that's another free position for us in this social race. As yeah, if we can keep up with Elite Risks and stay in his DRS, not only could we pass him, but more opportunities could be open for us, because he's really quick, probably the quickest guy on the track, next to Ogween, maybe? So, if I'm thinking, if we can stay in DRS and maybe save some ERS, which is very hard to save on this year's game, as you can see, we're only on 21% already after only 5 laps of this race. So ERS management is quite bad. But if we can stay behind Elite Risks, we could have a chance of spawning the party for some other drivers higher up the field, because we are definitely out of position. We are yet to stop. We're going to stop a lot later. So time will tell where we come out as we make a hash of that section. And as you can see, we've immediately lost 3 tenths through that section alone. It is embarrassing. And again, we're desperately trying to keep up using the ERS. But yeah, there was no use, as we're on 5% and the gap is 1.3 seconds. So yeah, it's not looking good as we get our first warning for track limits in the first sector. So yeah, I mean, it was a bit annoying, but it was a silly error. We just got that section wrong. I mean, that's pretty much it. As lap 7 rolls about now, as yeah, Elite Risk is really turning up the wick here. He's pulled a 2-second lead, and he's spun literally on the last lap, as we don't even beat our personal best of a 32.7, which is really off the pace in this race so far. As we come through this section again, and look at that, it's just embarrassing. Yeah, it's quite funny looking back on it now, but I think I'm definitely going to try and learn that section a lot more. As we cut to lap 12. Now, a lot's happened between then. First of all, Hayden overtook us. Second of all, Elite Risk spun again. I think he spun 3 times in this race. And now we're back into P6. So we were 5th, but Haydo passed us in the Haas. But we're in his DRS crucially. And we can now sit back and chill behind the medium runner, who is due to pit soon. So we can stay ahead of Risks for now, for the time being, as the ERS is slowly building back up. As we're having a little bit of a look going into the last corner, but we decided back out of it. As we've got yellow flags as well going out of the last corner, but nothing much has happened. We're still P12. No, it was actually Ogween who spun, as Turner is in the pits from the medium tyres to the hard tyres. So that's the undercut. And now we're going to have to spend the next couple of laps pushing on in this race. And we're not going to do that if Elite Risk is behind. So as you can see, we're weaving. To some of you that might look silly, but the reality is we're just telling him, hey mate, I'm not going to fight you. You can just breeze through. And that's exactly what we do. We don't open the DRS, and we let Elite Risks go for the time being. And we're down to P6 once again, but it is what it is. You know, we're just not on the paces. He makes a mistake going through the left-hander. Now we could repass the Haas driver going into turn 1. Let's see if we can actually make the move, but we decide not to. We think better of it. We're not faster than him. We're a lot slower. And if we start fighting, we'll disturb each other's races. So yeah, in hindsight, I think it was the right thing to do. We get DRS, and he can open opportunities for us, like I said earlier. So he can drag us towards Ogween, who is definitely going to be on the same strategy as us, as we're going to try and go into the softs. He gets a 3-second time penalty as well. So that's another factor that we're going to have to factor in. Well, that's another variable we're going to have to factor in, as he gets a penalty. And we get our second warning again for making an absolute hash of the slow section. And just like last time, we have fallen out of DRS. For God's sake, it's so annoying. It's just funny looking back on it, to be honest. But at the time, it was really frustrating, as again, we've barely got any ERS left, and we're desperately trying to stay within a second. But it's just not happening at the minute, as we make a mistake as well going out of the last corner. We were a bit too impatient on the trigger, on the traction, and that's something else I'm going to have to learn on this year's game. You can't really just be so self-assured on the traction. You're going to have to slowly build up the revs on the exit of corners, otherwise you're going to spin off. So yeah, a few things that I'm going to have to learn, especially driving without the racing line. As we got to lap 18 though, Ogween has spun again, and we're up in a P3, so stop the count right now. We're on the podium. Just stop it right now, stop the race. We're P3, and that's a miracle on its own. So no, we have to keep going. We've got another 11 laps to go in this race, as Elite Risks has taken those tyres quite away onto lap 18, and he's going to pit for the soft tyres. So he's gone for the alt strat, and that means he's on the undercut from Ads, myself, and Paraquix, who's right behind us again, despite spinning earlier. So he's shown some great pace and great determination to come back through the field and get right behind us, because we were racing him earlier, as we come through this section again and again. We're just making a hash of this. I don't know. I'm gonna have to learn this, and yeah, it's a learning process. It's day one. I'm sure I'll be driving a lot better when league racing actually starts around this track, and I've got a lot to learn as well. As we're not gonna fight Paraquix either, as he uses the DRS to stroll past us. We're down into P3, but that's fine. We're gonna stick behind him for now and try and find a way to re-overtake him, as FRA Ads, the former Division 1 race winner, is in the pits. And now that means Paraquix takes the lead of the race. We're second, and we're going to have to cut our strategy short by 1 lap, because we were planning to go to lap 21, but I knew at this point, if I decided to stay out 1 more extra lap after lap 20, we'll just be losing time to those guys who have already pitted. As you can see, we'll be rejoining in P10, so it wouldn't be too bad. We'd be rejoining in a points-paying position, which at the time would be a miracle, as Paraquix makes a hash of the light exit, and we're going to box with him. We're going to follow him in. We're going to go onto the soft tyre to the end of the race, and this is where things get a little bit interesting, because now we've got this turn-in thing. Let's see if we get it right. Well, it was good timing, as now we're in the pits, an estimated stop of 2.6, and we're off.
That was a good turn in there, mate. That's earned us a decent pit stop time.
So you hear our new engineer, Mark Priestley, giving us good encouragement for the good timing. And it's going to be important, because Ogwin is just at the fastest lap of the race. And we come out of the pits ahead of the Mercedes driver. We are in 8th place, but we've got cold tyres, which is another factor on this year's game. The tyres are going to be cold, so if we try and defend, we're not going to have much to work with. As you can see, we're going wide through this section, and Ogwin does a beautiful switchback mid-corner and goes down the inside. The same move we did earlier on another driver. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's fine, because A, we've got quite a decent amount of battery towards the end of this race, and B, yeah, we're in the DRS train, and we're going to be on fresher tyres as well, so we can definitely fight back in this race. And also, we're in P9, so it means we've gained 10 places from where we started, and everyone else is behind us. Our teammate is 5 seconds behind, and he's got a 5-second penalty, so he's not going to be a threat, as Haydo is not going to be a threat either. He's spun again through this section. It seems to be catching everyone out. We might be driving it absolutely horrendously, but we're not spinning, and we are still on 2 warnings, so we have to be mindful of that as well. We don't want to be too aggressive in this stage. We don't want to get a penalty, which will literally compromise us completely. So, lap 21 of this race. Race Roller has spun as well, and now we're P7. So now the top 5 is only 1.8 seconds away, and Ogwin has a penalty, so we could get some pretty decent points in our first race from P19 on the grid. With a terrible lap time, with a terrible qualifying session, we could be on the verge of completely turning this around, and it starts here on lap 22. We are still behind the Mercedes driver, who his red light is flashing still. We've got the DRS, we're going to go for the move, and this is where we're going to try and get some moves done. Down the inside, into the last corner, we miss the braking point, we lock up, we go wide, and Ogwin retakes the place, and that unfortunately was a failed move. But we still get DRS, as Paraquix sets the fastest lap at 30.0. We set at 30.8, but I'm pretty sure we would have been a lot quicker if we didn't make that mistake on Ogwin. As you see, we're on pausing the game, because that's how I recorded this footage. I found a way to make it easier, so that'll be alright. As meanwhile, in the background, you can see Ogwin overtaking Southerner on the medium tyres, so that's put pressure on us. We need to now pass the medium runner in this race. I mean, I can't remember what car he is. He's in a Williams. Come on, Brad, put it together. He's in a Williams. The Williams is on mediums, and we need to pass him to make sure that we don't lose touch with SLR Ogwin. Otherwise, we will be lost in this race in P6. So here we go. He goes a bit wide through this chicane, and we're going to try the same move Ogwin did on us. We're going to go down the inside through this left-hander. It's a brilliant move. It's an optimistic move, a brilliant move down the inside, and that was quite the confidence booster as we move into the top 6. And I realise now we're in the net P4, as W. Turner in the second Mercedes car has a time penalty. So it's all kicking off as Ogwin has a massive lockup. We are getting ever so closer to overtaking the Mercedes car, as we're looking to rectify the mistake, as he makes a huge mistake coming out of the last corner. And now on lap 25 now we're coming towards. We've got the DRS, we're draining the battery, we've got nothing left. Neither does he, as we're going to go down the inside into turn 1. He makes a hash of the corner again, but we have to give him space as he comes back on the track. We get ahead of him through turn 3, and we are up into 5th place. We're in the top 5, despite starting from P19. And it seems that these soft tyres are working brilliantly for us in this Miami Grand Prix, in his first invitational race. Day 1 of F1 22 is starting off with a bang at this rate, and we get into the DRS of W. Turner as well, who pitted on lap 12 for hard tyres. So we've got a massive tyre advantage over the second Mercedes car, and because we're in DRS, Ogwin can't overtake us that easily. And speaking of Ogwin, he's now got 9 seconds of penalties, as our personal best is a 30.5, so, you know, half a second of the fastest lap ain't too bad, considering we had no confidence. We're just sitting behind him, and Ogwin is slowly, nearly falling out of DRS. So we're in a good position. We don't need to rush anything, as W. Turner makes a mistake going out of turn 2. We think about making the move, but we stick behind him for the time being. We're going to wait till the last lap to make the move, a bit like Brazil in SLR last season against UK Beast Assassin. We're going to try and make the move on the last lap as he makes a massive lock-up. He's definitely struggling on those hard tyres. As here we go. This is the final lap of the race. As I realise that Alex has got a penalty as well, so we could be fighting for a really good position. As we're going to go towards turn 1, we have to lift off the throttle a little bit as he moves to the right. We're going to go round the outside, and it will turn to the inside for turn 2. And through turn 3, we get the move done. We are up into 4th place at net P3. Can you believe it? It's day 1 of F1 22, and this is already my best drive in a competitive race. Our first race with a racing line. We've come alive in the last 6 laps, and we're up in the 4th place. And all we need to do is stay ahead of the Mercedes, but he's going to come back at us with DRS, but it won't mean too much as he's got a penalty, and we don't have a penalty. So we let him go, and we're going to try and get him at the last corner as he locks up again. As, yeah, it's all kicking off on this last lap. We're P5. I think Elite Risks, I can tell you now, he's got 11 seconds of penalties. As he's sped in the pit lane, we take an improved line through that slow section. So we could be on the podium here. We just need to make sure we can just get through this DRS zone, through the final corner, and we should be home and dry to get a very good result. But now we're going to try and pass him again. W. Turner goes defensive, but we're not going to be close enough to make the move or even challenge for it as we come through the final corner. On the final lap, it's going to be Paraquix and the Williams who takes the win. We finish 5th on the road, but it's P2 from P19. Simply unbelievable. Unbelievable. P19 to P2. What a drive. What a race. To kick off F1 22, we get driver of the day as our guy punches the air, and here is the race winner. Paraquix in the Williams. It's a very nice cutscene. It's just the little things that add to these scenes. It makes it more satisfying when you go on the podium, or if you're Paraquix winning the race. As he celebrates with the trophy, well deserved to him, shouts to him. He was brilliant in this race, and he spun earlier. So, absolutely fantastic stuff from him. We finished P2. As we celebrate with the champagne, we kept our nose clean through the race, and we came alive in the final 8 laps when we put the soft tyres on. A great strategy call from us and other drivers around us as well to inspire that decision. And there you go, confirmation. Everyone got penalties, alright? I'm not going to put it on the screen, but everyone around us got a penalty. But that was a chaotic race with a brilliant finish. Guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more F1 22 content coming your way soon. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, and I'll see you later.